Gilly Crane hotline going here. Just pick up that phone and give us a call at 931-728-1320 for GillyCrane.com. Bryan Barrett, the play-by-play voice for WGNS, will join us. Bryan, a big win tonight in the opening game of the Michael Copley era at Siegel.
I didn't hear the first part of your question there, Dennis. But,
it's a big win for Coach Copley of Siegel tonight, opening his career at Siegel.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, like I said during the broadcast, you only have one chance to win your first ever game wherever you're coaching, and he was able to do that. And I know they were very happy, a bunch of stars there tonight over at Siegel High School for sure.
He comes into a tough situation, replacing a personal friend of mine, but a guy that was well liked in both the community and in the school, in Greg Wyatt. Greg has been very professional about it. Talk about has Coach Copley mentioned anything at all about the pressure that he might have put on himself?
No, not really. You kind of talk to him. He last week was the first time we had the chance to really sit down and talk on the radio, and he really seemed like he had that nervous anticipation for week one, like any coach would. And with Greg still at Siegel as the athletic director, it seems like that relationship's working out very well, and they just kind of work well together. And I know Greg well enough to know that he would give you the shirt off his back and help in any way possible. But if you want your space and want to do things your way and don't ask for help, he's going to lay off that way too. And so I think it would be very hard not to be able to get along with Coach White.
I think so too, and like I said, he's handled it better than professionally. He's handled it with a lot of class, and I didn't expect anything less from him. It looked like from the very beginning that Siegel got on top and just really made sure that they were going to put this game out of reach early.
Well, we found a star, no pun intended, with running back Leland Wilhoit tonight. He had 13 carries, 111 yards, 4 touchdowns, and it was a big part of their total offense. But, I was really impressed with all phases of the game, offense, defense, special teams. They scored their first touchdown, then they recovered an onside kick. So special teams was big. Their defense only gave up just a little over 100 yards to the Red Hawks tonight. Their defense had a fumble recovery for a touchdown, and their offense was obviously clicking with the 111 yards rushing by Wilhoit and 152 total rushing. And senior Brendan Crowell really came into his own, and you can see a lot of progress in that young man. He was 8 of 13 for 170 yards passing tonight. So, when you can win all three phases of the game and win convincingly, it's even bigger than the score, sometimes.
We're talking to Bryan Barrett. He is the play-by-play voice for all of Rutherford County on WGNS. Dennis Weaver, Eric Keith of the Friday Night Thunder Scoreboard Show.
Bryan, after watching their performance against Stewart's Creek tonight, and then they've got Ravenwood traveling up there next week, where does Siegel put themselves with the rest of the big guns in Rutherford County with your Blackman, Riverdale, Oakland? Where's Siegel going to end up?
Well, I think going into tonight, the question was, Blackman was the odds-on preseason favorite, right? So you look at Blackman, and then you see that they win, impressively, 63-28. To me, the questions were, what's Oakland going to have? Knew they had some great players coming back, but they lost a lot of super players from last year, so how does that go together? Well, to me, their win over Independence was very impressive. And you have to look at Siegel and think, well, you've got a new coach. Where do they fit in to this mix here? Or can they be a top 4 team and a playoff team with the new region alignment? And I really think that it's to me, after tonight, I think your top four are going to be from Murfreesboro, with Cookeville a shot at slipping in the playoffs there. It's going to be really hard for the Cookevilles and the Coffee counties and Warren counties in the district this year. That's just my look at just looking at the scores and seeing the first night. I think some questions were answered, and Rutherford County may not have that overall huge, great, big, dominant team that's going to run over everybody, but I think the football is pretty good here in the county this year all around.
Understatement of the year.
Oh, there you went out on a limb there, buddy. It must be great. It must be great to call a great game each and every week. Where are you going to be next week, sir?
We're going to travel with Riverdale to Franklin, and there are a lot of big games going on next week. Our goal was to try to put together as even of a broadcast schedule in the regular season as we could, and I think we were able to accomplish that. And so looking forward to going on the road with Riverdale and the Rebels. And, man, it's going to be a great football season, I think, if you're a Rutherford County football fan.
Well, it is indeed, and we've got Coach Kevin Creasy on the line, so we're going to let you go and talk to him. Talk about your coach's show in the morning and where folks can listen in to that.
Well, we'll have Coach Creasy's Red Velvet Donut ready for him in the morning, and he'll be on. One of our guests will have all of the coaches on tomorrow beginning at 8 o'clock in the morning. You can listen to it on our 2 FMs and our AM here in Murfreesboro, Rutherford County, and streaming across the world on the web at WGNSsports.com. All
righty. Red Velvet Donut, huh?
Yes, and it's out of this world, but that's his.
Okay, I got it. I'll we'll talk about that coming up right after this, okay?
It's a red O. It's
yeah, there it is. It is perfect. That's great. All right, appreciate you, buddy. Take care of yourself, okay?
You too, man. Thanks.
All righty, that is Bryan Barrett with WGNS, the our co-founder of the Friday Night Thunder Radio Network, 8 years in syndication.